And so this is the ad hoc committee on walkability and pedestrian safety of the Sustainability Commission. It's 3:35 on Monday, December 7th. And so we mostly just wanted to kind of check in on the status of the project with the consultant and talk a little bit about the first community advisory committee meeting and next steps. So Jennifer, I sent around this morning the latest from the consultant on the packet, the social media kit that they shared. They're asking the community advisory committee members to share with the public, and I'm going to run through that here. If I can share my screen. So this social media kit basically includes a couple of things, kind of short posts for people to share on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, things like that. And so it has a little bit of text as well as links to the pedestrian safety survey and also the mapping tool that they're using to get people to kind of map out problem areas. And so I don't know, we'll see how many people use that. It seemed a little bit more complicated than I remember it being. Anyway, so we'll see if folks fill that out. Again, the media package has these links and then a couple of graphics. So Dan, why don't we go ahead and we could post this to our Facebook page, just that process. And then maybe what we can do is, what I would suggest is that we post it, and then if you want to, maybe a couple of people could try it out and just make sure it all jives. I think they've done that already, I'm pretty sure, but.
So Patrick, is it okay if we interject questions?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I really haven't fiddled with the GIS mapping tool since earlier in the iteration. Did you say it's different than, did they make some modifications to it?
I don't know if they made any modifications to it. I did not use it when the first time they put it out.
Okay.
But when they were kind of going through it at the meeting, I felt like it seemed a little bit harder than just dropping a pin on the map. And so
when I looked at it today, there are only a few pins on there anyway.
Right. So like
pins that people from the public have dropped on there.
I don't know if it's people from the public. It's probably people from the committee who have taken the survey.
Yeah.
You know, okay. and tried it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I guess there's one pin you say I walk here, or another pin that says this is a major destination. Or
okay, and then that sort of raises another question that I had, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't crashing the community advisory committee party. I couldn't remember if I basically had invited myself to participate in that, or if Patrick, you were looking for somebody from this group to also participate in that. I didn't.
Yes, no, we wanted somebody from this group to participate. I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to accommodate everybody, but you made sense because you're involved in the planning project too, the general plan.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that's why we landed on you.
Okay.
But given now that we've got I think we've got the membership set, then I don't see why other folks couldn't join in. Like if other members of the commission wanted to just tune in, they could do that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we landed on you.
I'm scrolling my cursor around the link and I'm realizing it's your page.
Right. Right. So like I just drew a line and I don't really know what to do with it after that. So,
Patrick,
yeah.
when we share this, so would you like us to share this on our personal pages? And then, in the past, when I've tried to promote our events, I've gone into a lot of the Palm Springs Facebook groups and
Mhm.
posted. So, I mean, we could also post it in a variety of groups because each one of us only has, as far of a reach as we do with our personal
Right.
friends or whatever. And then many of my friends are not in Palm Springs, so they're not going to find this interesting. But
Right,
Right.
same
I
here.
think getting our community, to participate would be really valuable. So I'm happy to help with, some of that as well, if that would be helpful. And I don't know if that is the case. We may want to come up with some verbiage, or, I mean, I'm not really sure if there would be something specific, but
Mhm.
that's something that maybe we want to talk about, like how to present it in a way that, and that catches that people's attention, that it's something that they would want to take the time to do.
Right. So,
We usually post on our page and then request the Palm Springs neighborhood group to post it as well. I send them or share it to them.
So Dan, when you say our page, are you talking about the Healthy Planet, Healthy You?
Right.
page? Okay.
yeah, we'll definitely cross post it with the neighborhood group, and I can send it to Main Street. Main Street usually picks up on the neighborhood group posts as well. And so those are two key ones. But I think you're right. I think just based on this little bit of experience that I just had, I think we might need a little bit more information to share.
Patrick, is that something you're experimenting with on a separate monitor as well?
So are you guys sharing, are you guys looking at the map?
No.
No, we're looking at the hyperlinks.
All right, let
information.
me, it's because I didn't share that screen. Okay, well, that's good.
There you go.
Now you should be able to see the map. So like I just drew this blue line that's sort of my commute to work. And
Oh, now we know where you live.
right, exactly. Yes, it's not a secret, unfortunately. So maybe that's how I do that. Add your own comment. So I walk to work here. Save.
Do you walk to work, Patrick?
Sometimes I do. Usually I drive to work and then I walk home for lunch back and forth.
Oh, that's great.
It's a 3-minute drive.
It's a
5-minute walk.
3 minutes on a bad day. So, but yeah, I've been trying to walk a little bit more now that the weather's cooler. So there's really no excuse not to. It's a little embarrassing. So anyway, so this is a key destination to City Hall. So yeah, so I think it's worth, let me just go back actually to, let me go back to their media thing. Because all it really says is we're developing a plan and there's an online survey and mapping tool. So, yeah.
So was the idea that we would essentially cut and paste, say we have a Facebook account, cut and paste just that text under the Facebook posts section?
And then
What I
add
was
the
assuming.
picture at the bottom.
Yeah.
Dan, what was that about the picture at the bottom?
You can, if you scroll down further, there's a picture that can accompany the text.
Right.
That.
Just
Okay. Now, are those hyperlinks active within the image?
I do not think they are.
They usually do if you post a picture. For
Do
some
they?
reason, every time I've posted one, it's been active.
Okay.
Huh,
Uh,
okay.
I'm
So
not saying this.
take a picture of that, the hyperlinks will be active. Am I understanding what you just said?
That's the way it's been working for me. Like when I posted the like the shredding event pictures, you have to post it as a picture on Facebook because they don't do PDF. And amazingly, the link worked. So
hmm.
I've never heard of that. That's pretty awesome. So you took a picture on your phone and did it from there?
no, I saved it to the computer. I had a PDF that I saved to the computer as a picture. You can
Oh,
save
is it
PDFs as a
JPEG or something?
JPEG. Yeah, you save a PDF as a JPEG, and then you add it to your Facebook account as a picture, and the link was active.
Um,
I don't know if it should be because it's not active on this PDF, so it may not be on the picture either.
yeah, I just copied this to my drive here. Let me just see if when I post it to I don't know if that's going to work or not. Choose the neighborhood. Sorry.
Is Greg still under the weather?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be out the rest of the month.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's a little distressing.
Yep. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I can't tell. I'm not going to be able to tell until I post it. We'll try it out on our Facebook page and see what happens.
Do that, and then if you do create that PDF, maybe you can send that to us and we can just grab it
Right.
there. And that's great if it works. I know if I mean, when I was thinking about it, if I took a screenshot, it wouldn't work. Then it would just be a picture of it.
Right.
So
That's sure what this looks like. It looks like in some sort of a screenshot.
That's what I assumed it to be too, but I noticed that there, as I scrolled over that image, it had a code associated with it.
Oh,
Ta-da, that. But
yeah.
I don't know if that's just a file path for.
That's a file path. Because it's the same down there.
Okay.
Yep. So I think it would be helpful if we had, they could do it so that the graphic has the link. That would be awesome. But
yeah, because otherwise people are not going to take additional steps to cut and paste URLs and
right.
Or if they're going to have to type out a URL, even less
Right.
so.
So that's the survey link, and I think the survey's fine. I think it's this mapping tool that needs some more explanation because you don't actually get anything. Well, now it's not giving me anything. There we go. All right, so it does give you some instruction. Use the menu on the right of your screen to navigate to the tool. Click a feature within the comments. Yeah, so it does, I think maybe they can just update this first page to be clearer about what we want.
Add a purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you do nothing else, do this.
No.
Okay. All right. So let's see. The meeting, this community advisory committee meeting that we had was the day after our sustainability commission meeting. And the meeting went really well. I thought the participation was really good and people had some really good perspectives. And so I think it'll be a really good group. One of the things that we're gonna focus on for the next meeting, which will be in January, is the projects that we have currently, so that the group can get a sense of what we already have kind of on the table. So I'm going to talk to the contractor on Wednesday a little bit more about that, but we've been feeding them information on various projects that we have that have either been suggested or are already underway. And so I want to make sure that we're not duplicating any efforts when we have the conversation with the group. And so I think that meeting will be a really good one to get more concrete about what people want to see and where. So I think that'll be a good next step. The other thing that that we'll be working on with the consultant before then is just some more work, I think, on outreach and communication, because we have talked to them a little bit about doing some sort of, I'm not sure what you would call it. It's sort of an in-person event. So what they described, and I can't remember if they talked about this at the Community Advisory Committee meeting, but what they were suggesting is one way to draw attention to the survey and the process basically is to have kind of a street event. So what they were proposing to do was, for example, have an artist paint a crosswalk. And then at the end of the crosswalk, we'd have a little sign that said something about the survey, or go here for the survey. So anyway, so that we've had some conversation about that. I don't know what that looks like anymore at this point with the COVID shutdown round 2.
I don't quite understand the paint the sidewalk concept.
So when they do this normally, so in normal times, what they would do is kind of set up an area near an intersection or in a parking space that's adjacent to the road or something like that. And they would have like street painting or street chalk art, or have a little kids thing set up to have kids play and stuff like that, which seems weird to me to have kids play on the street. But anyway, it's kind of promoting the whole safe right. Yeah. Safe space concept. But but anyway, they do these things to basically draw attention to the effort and to get people interested and engaged in it.
So Dan, it sounds to me kind of like the effort for the sustainability master plan update at the Willard Murray Library.
Right. Something like, yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You go out on the street and ask people what they think and what they would like to see. Yeah. A lot like that. Yeah.
So again, during normal times, that would be what they would do. They would have people stationed out there. They'd be taking notes and all that kind of stuff. Since that's not really going to happen, we were thinking that the crosswalks could provide a little bit of a entree to get people to pay attention to both crossing at the crosswalks, but also get them get them more aware of the project. And so we would have some signage on the other side, on either side of the crosswalk, so that people would like do a QR code and get the survey and that kind of thing. So So that's really what they were thinking of. And they were thinking of it on, especially over on arenas where they blocked off arenas and near or along Palm Canyon, because that would be a safe place for somebody to actually paint on the street. And then there's a lot of pedestrian activity there too. So that's kind of what we had in mind initially. I need to follow up with them to see if that's still on the radar.
I don't mean to belabor the thought though, but paint the street, I mean, paint.
With chalk.
The crosswalk. Yeah.
Oh, with chalk. Oh,
Yes,
so
yeah.
just concepts.
Right. And
Okay.
they showed me an example, and it was pretty interesting. But what we were thinking is that we could actually extend the bench concept. So we've got all these artists that did the benches downtown. And so what we could do is identify an artist that had one that was near there. And so they could paint the sidewalks similar to what they painted the benches. And they can do this in two ways, actually. They can actually paint on the surface, but they can also paint on almost like a canvas or I can't remember what it's made out of. It's like an asphalty kind of thing that they just place on top of the street too. So that would probably be better for us, just because I think it's easier for them to paint offsite and then bring it in. So anyways, that was the idea, is that we'd have one of the artists who did the benches that come in and do a sidewalk or a crosswalk. So.
How many people really have QR codes?
Well, it's embedded in most phone picture programs now, photo programs. So if you actually take a picture of a QR on your camera, then it usually comes up with a QR.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of cool, because
Yeah.
I mean, I have it, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know if everybody actually has those or not.
I know. I had one for a while and I never used it, and then I deleted it, and then I felt like I needed it right after I deleted it. So, but now I don't have to think about it. So
I think I've used it probably less than 5 times in my life or something.
Right.
I mean, it's not, I don't know.
Right. Well, I've been using it more lately because of the menus. So some places that are doing digital menus do it through QR code.
Oh, that's brilliant. So
Yeah.
that you don't touch a menu. So it's not okay.
So you don't touch it, it's not paper. So
Cool.
it's a good idea. So anyways, that's
There may need to be that instruction though, that if they don't have it, because some people that are kind of dinosaur-ish with the technological stuff, they might go, oh, I can't access it then. So if it can say, take a picture of it, it will come up. If that actually works, we may need to have a little description or something just to make it more user-friendly.
Right.
I like that idea.
Yeah. And I don't know if,
People's tricorders do a lot more than they're maybe necessarily aware of.
Totally.
Right.
That's true.
I think so. I mean, older people seem to just be willing to throw in the towel before they even try. Like, I can't do that. Or, I don't know how to even get to the app store. Or, I mean, I'm just speaking from my mom. Like, she's just almost unwilling to even try,
Right.
So I think that must be other people too. I don't think it's just her.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll need to talk to them a little bit more about that, because we were doing it again because of COVID. They weren't doing kind of walk audits like they normally would, and so this was sort of a substitute for that. And so I'm not sure. Everything keeps changing, but again, it was more of a way to draw attention to the project and maybe get people to go back and do something after they were there than anything else. So I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out. It was an interesting idea, but I was really having a hard time figuring out how it would really work. So more to follow on that, and so we'll see how that plays out. The
Dan?
thing, yeah, Dan, did you have a question?
I added the text and the picture to Facebook on the Healthy Planet, Healthy You. And the picture link does not work, but the same links are in the text right above the picture. I
Okay.
just copied and pasted everything.
Okay.
So that
So at
works.
least they're right there, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so I think that it would be helpful, I think, for them to provide more instruction as people share this, because I still don't think that people really know what to do with it.
And if those links do not work in the picture, I think it's better just to have the picture and have the links in the text, because I don't know. That
Well, I
just
was kind of
confusing.
seeing maybe doing both, because it looked like there was the text with the hyperlink embedded in it, and then
Yeah.
it seemed like the image had slightly different information, although it also had the
No, it's the
URL.
same information, but the links
Oh.
and the text are in blue, so you can actually tell that they're links. You know, they pop out.
Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
never mind.
All right. Well, I'll continue to work with them on that and refining that message and information. The other thing,
Well,
Then
before we
could let
move
us
on,
know. Yeah,
what's that?
what's that, Jen?
well, you could go first.
I was just going to say, is it premature if we want to share the information? We could go ahead.
Yep. Because
Okay.
I don't think they're changing the survey or anything like that, so it's fine to share it. The only thing we're just doing
Okay.
is as we send around those messages, is just making sure that they're better worded to make sure that people know what to do. But
Okay.
you
Yeah,
can
I mean, I'm in the same
Yeah.
position as Jen. I mean, well, I can post it on Facebook, but a lot of people are going to be, Palm Springs. I'm not there.
I just copied the text that said, on Facebook, whoever was under that for Facebook.
Mhm.
I didn't go back to the top of the document and copy any of that stuff.
Okay.
That's something else that if you posted it on the Healthy Planet, Healthy You site, then can we share it from there? Because
Yes.
that may make it more clear, where it's coming from, even if one of us post it. So,
Oh, you mean like share the post from Healthy Planet?
Yeah,
Healthy
it'll say from Healthy. If you share it, it'll say from Healthy Planet, Healthy You.
and that way it's clear that it's, even though
Mhm.
we're part of this committee, that it's really coming from,
It's official.
yeah,
Right.
it's official. I think that that's helpful. I don't know, people like to be a part of something that's official,
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'll work with them a little bit on refining that language, and then we'll post it to Healthy Planet, Healthy You before our commission meeting, so that we can share it at the commission meeting too and distribute it to those folks as well.
So do you think that we should post it before or wait,
You
Patrick?
can post it before. Yeah.
It's already there on Healthy Planet, Healthy You. Do you want me to
Okay.
take it down? Or?
Okay, that's
All right.
perfect. So you're keeping that one up the way it is.
I can if
Yeah.
that's what you want, Patrick.
So I think that we just need to say that it needs to be more directional. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So-
I'll take it down.
Yeah. So like, for example, what I would say is, please fill out the online survey to tell us about your commuting experience or your commuting and pedestrian experience here in Palm Springs, and use the mapping tool to show us where the problems are. It's just as simple as that, I think.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, write that up, and
There you go. I'll do that.
I'll post it. I can't write as fast as what you just said, and I'm
Right.
I don't
No.
remember it all.
Mhm.
And I don't have the mapping tool up at the moment, but do you remember offhand? It seems like you could use it even if you're not a resident of Palm Springs, but maybe you commute into Palm Springs, right?
Yes, so the survey is designed for commuters, visitors, and residents.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
and
thinking
the,
that was the case.
yeah, and the mapping tool is just the mapping tool, so anybody can. change
Okay.
it to that. So, yeah, in fact, I think it actually has 4 categories, I think, but that's basically it. So,
Okay. That'll be helpful, even if it's something for folks like Jen and me to add to the shared link to Healthy
Right.
Planet, Healthy You, just to clarify if needed.
right. And so I guess one question that I have is they have both English and Spanish. Do you guys know if your Facebook automatically translates? So can you just pick Spanish as the language that shows up?
Well, I went on the survey before, I mean, I didn't see it until I was looking for the Zoom link. And so there was a few minutes before. I didn't get through the whole thing, but yeah, it was, you get to choose your English or Spanish, so.
Right, so
But
that's.
I've never seen on Facebook any translation.
Okay,
I have. I have a
Oh, really?
Facebook friend in Paris, and she will sometimes post in French, and it'll ask you if you want to translate this page.
Oh, that's true. But I've never seen it unless it's a language other than English that
Right,
I can translate it to English, but you know what
correct.
I mean?
That's true.
I've never, I mean, maybe somebody that's a Spanish speaker, maybe they could look at it and it could be translated to Spanish, but
yeah, I was just, the reason I asked that is I'm just wondered because when we post things, like when Denise Goolsby posts stuff, it's always just in English.
I suspect, I don't know this for sure, but it seems as if in your own personal settings, you would have a default language.
Right,
yeah, that's
And
probably true.
if you're a Spanish speaker, if you had something from Denise that shows up in English, then it would prompt you like what Dan's talking about.
oh,
It
right,
would say,
yeah,
would you want to translate this? And then it would translate it into Spanish.
there it
But
is.
I don't know that for sure.
So let me see
You
if
find out.
I'm going to change my language to Spanish. And, well, it didn't change it. Interesting. All right.
But
So
maybe
it's
if
not
you
giving you a
post it now after having changed it, it might work, but maybe it's
Yes.
not going to go back in and change what's already
Change the
there.
past. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be. Right. Oh, where'd that go? Uh-oh. Oh, there it went. Oh, it does sort of flash in Spanish. I wonder if I'm not allowed.
Yeah, if you went out and went back in, maybe.
I'm wondering if I'm not allowed because it's not my page. I'm only a like a designated user or something of the city's page.
I'm sure you're a moderator.
Yeah,
Wouldn't, I mean,
I don't know. It did
that
flash
seems
in Spanish
odd,
on the
though.
left, but anyway. All right, we'll check that out. Because I just wasn't sure if we needed to post it both or if we just needed to post it in one. So,
I think that what you had said about the translation, I mean, if that's a native tongue thing, then somebody that is mostly speaking Spanish, they're probably main language is Spanish. So they probably get that same option that we get from France or wherever it's coming from a different language to
Yeah.
translate it if they need it.
right. I think you're right. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right, we'll check on that. All right. And I don't know. I don't know that I have anything else. What other questions do you guys have? Oh, so I think the one thing that we are going to have to kind of think about going forward is that the planning, general plan update conversation around circulation, I think it's going to start in January, February timeframe. So we're going to need to kind of make sure that we're tracking with that as well to kind of merge these two ideas and to make sure that we're, Grant, this will be a forum for you to bring back stuff maybe for feedback if we need to do that. So
Okay.
that'll be good to do too. So
Now, do you on the staff side have, are you communicating with David and or Flynn directly?
Yeah. So we are, but not in depth at the moment. So they're currently in this data gathering process for their vision and priorities. And so he's still sort of getting that feedback. But I did talk to him whenever we provided feedback to that process. So
okay.
I think as we go forward, I'll probably be more engaged in that effort. But
yeah, because I think these are both efforts that are, there's some overlap, but I'm not sure where the overlap kind of zips together.
Right. Yep, I agree. It's not really clear to me either. So, okay. Well, what we'll do is I'll work with Dan right now to kind of update the language, just tweak the language a little bit, and then we'll post it to our Healthy Planet page, and then we'll let you guys know when that's available so that you guys can share it through your.
Okay.
That sounds really good. And then I was just thinking about these crosswalks that you were speaking about.
Yes.
So I like the idea of, if it's the same artist, if it's the same theme as the benches, I mean, there's some nice continuity to that.
Mm-hmm.
If there's more opportunity, I mean, it could be a way that we could share other messages or, also just beautify the city and add more rainbows and other things that, kind of make it more Palm Springs like or something. But but that could be something that for our commission, that if we had a message or something, just to get people to think. And also, I mean, I think it's good for people to think about using crosswalks because, I mean, part of that is our problem is the jaywalking.
Yes.
I was driving with my daughter maybe 2 days ago at night and, she's like, oh my God, there's a pedestrian. And so they were wearing dark clothes, of course, but it's like so scary when you come upon someone in the middle of the night or when it's dark. And I mean, it's dark here at 4 o'clock or, I mean, so, I mean, people are not that aware of it. And so, just, making more of a statement also to be safe, I mean, we want it to be safe, but we want the pedestrians to be safe also. So,
right.
And, using this as kind of a billboard, so to speak, or some, like a way to share messaging could be really amazing as long as it's attractive,
Yep, I agree. And that's the first thing that came to my mind, honestly, when they were talking about it. I was like, oh, well, that's kind of a cool idea to kind of draw people to that space and actually get them to use a crosswalk to, places where it's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll follow up with them on that and we'll get this post out.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for all your work.
Sure. No problem.
Dan's counting the days.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. When is that last day, Dan?
A week from Thursday.
Yes.
17th.
I can't believe that we're already here. I mean,
it's super bittersweet.
Yeah.
You're going to be very missed.
Yeah.
Well, thank
But
you.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Oh, he's
Ready.
getting just in time, I think, before the next round of crazy starts with this COVID stuff. So, all right. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate your participation. And again, we'll be in touch with that link.
Yeah, thanks for setting this up.
Thank you.
Sure.
Discussion appreciated.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right. Have a good evening.
You too.
Yeah, you too.